Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game Kaho and Fly versus Infi and Colorful. Here we have Kaho spawning as the red Night Elf, his partner Fly spawning as the red Orc. This will be on the top right hand side of Lost Temple LV. Meanwhile, on the opposite ends, we have Colorful spawning as the teal Night Elf, and finally Infi spawning as the teal human. So human Night Elf versus Orc Night Elf in this 1v1 matchup. Hopefully everything, well, turns out well. This game should be pretty interesting as we're looking at an Ancient of War already being built on the ramp to try and clear out this expansion on the bottom left. Seems like it is not going to be the same strategy. No, actually take it back. There is that Ancient of War there. And if you're able to, well, grab that archer, shoot and then hide behind that Ancient of War a little bit, you can have that attacking onto the high ground and cause a little bit of missing onto that Ancient of War. The downside though is that Ancient of War is not able to eat these trees to try and regenerate some of those hit points. All about damage mitigation, trying to min-max your strategies there as this game is getting underway. Farseer, hero of choice from Fly. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter coming in from Kaho. Colorful going to be going for a Keeper of the Grove, and to round it out, an Archmage coming in from Infi. All four players going for different heroes, different strategies, different choices. Infi and Colorful opting to go for those intelligence-based heroes. Meanwhile, Farseer are going to be able to summon up some Spirit Wolves, while that Demon Hunter will have plenty of mana burn targets. Action already underway here. Ancient of War making its way, taking that trek down here. Ancient of War also doing that same thing off on the side as the game is going to be getting underway. Meanwhile, Farseer is already out on the battlefield, ready to put in some pressure. Archer perhaps getting in a little bit of pelting now, trying to retreat back, and that's exactly what you need to happen there. Lose that aggro, allow that Ancient of War to tank some of that damage, and then summon up some treants to try and finish off that Forest Troll High Priest, Forest Troll Berserker, and some of these remaining units. Meanwhile, Farseer already putting in pressure here. Archmage sitting at level 1 already picks up a Claws of Attack +4 as there is, perhaps a little bit of an engagement. Farseer going to get, doesn't get the experience as the Peasant ends up falling at the hands of creeps. Alright, a little bit of damage going back across every which way. Another Peasant going to get taken down. Farseer gets 25 experience there as both sides are fighting their way through. Farseer does resummon up those Spirit Wolves, and a lot of damage is absorbed and done there. That low hit point Spirit Wolf may be trying to retreat back there. Archmage now sitting just shy, or a little bit shy of level 2, trying to finish off some of those wolves. It looks as though the Farseer, not going to bother with that unit there, as the Footmen are still engaging here. Archmage going back up onto the high ground here. And you see a little bit of miss damage as new Militia coming in to re-engage. Alright, Grunt down to 266 hit points, has to be a little bit careful. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove could perhaps try and cause some problems, perhaps get an entangle on that Farseer, but the Farseer didn't really absorb that much damage, so really no reason to try and entangle it. However, that Grunt going to get taken down. Level 2 now given to the Archmage, as techs to tier 2 are already underway. So a very fast tech to tier 2 by Fly, which is going to get scouted out. Kaho also teching the tier 2. Meanwhile, Colorful is staying at tier 1 alongside Infi. Alright, we do see a potential expansion off to the north here. Farseer perhaps going to try and shut down some of these Peasants, and now that Farseer is going to look to try and rack up quite a bit of damage. Peasants could end up getting taken down here. There goes one, another one going to get taken down right there. There goes another, as the Farseer is still sitting at level 1 after all this time. Meanwhile, Spirit Wolves, trying to finish off more and more of these Peasants here, as the Farseer, down to 194 hit points, has to play a very, very tight game here. Demon Hunter going to be coming back around on the other side. More Peasants making their way over. Archmage wants to keep that distance, doesn't want to get mana burn, gets mana burned anyway just before that Water Elemental could have been placed down. Alright, more retreating back across here. Farseer, Archmage, ends up taking more mana burn damage as that Demon Hunter, just eats away at all of that mana there, down to zero mana temporarily, and now sitting at 100 hit points as well. it looks like Kaho is going to be punishing this expansion attempt by Infi. And we know that behind this, Fly had also checked further. We are getting in an entangle. Going to go ahead and shut down this grunt here. Ancient Protector going to, well, eat some trees and now try and go after all of these units here as we see a Scroll of Town Portal perhaps to try and get back into position. All right, little bit of damage. Huntresses are right here. There's a mana burn there. Damage could get racked up here. One low hit point archer going to get taken down as the Ancient Protector now trying to make its way over. Does not have a War Mill. This is going to be incredibly important. No War Mill means no reinforced defenses, meaning that the Ancient Protector is going to be able to get in some big damage indeed. Ancient Protector going to go ahead and try and, well, launch attacks up against that burrow as well. Couple of shadow melded units. Demon Hunter gets another mana burn off on that Keeper of the Grove as now the human army of Infi reinforcing as the Expo is now up and operational with Arcane Tower waiting to be built. Footman now with Defend able to reflect back some of that damage as well, and so many targets as the Huntresses now don't have to worry nearly as much about the piercing damage from those Orc burrows. Alright, damage racking up. Tauren Chieftain now going to come across, perhaps get a Shockwave or a Stomp here. There's a Shockwave through as one Orc burrow already taken down. 28 over 30, one supply. A second Orc burrow could get taken down here. Huntresses with plenty of bounce damage, and talk about a swing in momentum. Colorful now continuing to put in all of this pressure here as the Archmage with, well, Brilliance Aura giving plenty of mana here. Keeper of the Grove trying to put pressure onto the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter down to 35 hit points. The Footman could have gotten in front there, caused a little bit of problems. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Farseer is now out here onto the battlefield. Low hit point units trying to retreat back away. Archmage gets up to level 3, should be able to drop a level 2 Water Elemental here, and that's going to cause in some more problems as well. Low hit point Grunt down to 15 hit points, just needs to get taken down. Finally gets shut down there as the Farseer tries to clear up some of those footmen in the back position as well. Demon Hunter, well, no, not healing up here. Demon Hunter trying to figure out a way, will be healing back up at the Moonwells as this battle is raging on. Fly may end up losing this stronghold. He does have his Tauren Chieftain already out on the battlefield, but 2 level 1 heroes unable to take this 2-on-1 onslaught, even though Kaho has brought over Naga Sea Witch as well. Tauren Chieftain has fallen. Farseer, a Fly getting ready to retreat back. Fly's Orc Burrow going to get taken down as well. 22 over 21 supply. Peons are getting cleaned up as, well, I believe this push may finally be coming to an end. Fly with the Farseer, Naga Sea Witch here, Grunt now trying to come back around. Perhaps enough damage will be dealt. Archmage needs a little bit more, mana as the Demon Hunter says, you know what, I know what I want to do with that mana. I want to burn it. Gonna go ahead and drop the Water Elemental there. Demon Hunter does get the mana burn off, but not before the Water Elemental is in position. All right. Great opening segment. We see Kaho does have this Expo down across here. It is not fully saturated for some odd reason. Finally getting up another peasant, 34 over 60. Infi does have this Expo here at this position, and Colorful now establishing his expansion as well. Tech to tier 2 now getting started by Infi about halfway there. Colorful still sitting at Tree of Life as the Keeper of the Grove now going after this Forest Troll Stone Rock Golem creep camp. There's plenty of Huntresses 1-0 upgrades as the Forest Troll High Priest gets taken down, giving that Keeper of the Grove a precious Tome of Intelligence +2. More entangles, more auto attack damage, now getting up to level 4, also picking up a Mana Stone, and also picking up a Scroll of Town Portal, well, for the upcoming battles. Fly going to be spending some time rebuilding much of his infrastructure, rebuilding that Voodoo Lounge. He spent quite a bit of time rebuilding these Orc burrows and now building up a second bestiary as well. Meanwhile, what are these Huntresses doing? Perhaps going after these red creep camps off on the corner, or perhaps trying to, well, finish off. Come on, Wisp, just get taken down. Oh, there's the detonation. As we are looking back off to the north here, one lone footman with the Fen just trying to cause a bit of problems here. Farseer down to 41 hit points, but no easy way to finish him off. Meanwhile, Huntress is getting in a position here trying to take down this Tree of Life. Keeper of the Grove going to summon up some treants. We are going to see some quick detonations taking that down there as Huntresses are getting, well, picked apart by Dryads. One Archer. Oh no, that Archer actually able to Scroll of Town Portal back, I believe, in time only to see it get destroyed by, or denied, I believe, right there as well. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Archmage of Infi, not in a great spot here. Dual water elementals could cause some problems, but well, this isn't, well, translating nearly as well as I would have thought. All right, let's take a look at a little bit more damage getting added on in. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 1. Dual water elementals causing problems. Water elementals trying to, well, stop the raiders here as the footmen need to try and retreat back. It seems like Colorful and Infi need to regroup and come up with a strategy. They just can't be throwing themselves at their opponents, Kaho and Fly. Kaho and Fly could start to easily build back up into this game. Dryads with that piercing slow poison damage could cause some serious problems as well. It looks as though Infi and Colorful are now starting to work together. Their armies should be coming across, but is it going to be too little too late? Fly getting off a couple more ensnares, able to pick off more units. Level 2 now on the Tauren Chieftain with Endurance Aura. We're looking at some ensnares as well, but unable to capitalize on those trapped units. More healing salves coming back, coming back across. Meanwhile, Kaho needs to reinforce, is coming in with the rear with those Dryads. Dryads are going to have easy access to those Huntresses if necessary, and here we are just trying to pick apart units as they're going by. Do we see some Abolish Magic? Of course we do, giving some free experience as well, and a couple of ensnares. Infi losing quite a bit of units in this retreat here. Stormbolt now onto the Demon Hunter as the Dryads are purposely getting slow poison off on multiple different units, and with multiple Huntresses just getting taken down. This is just an absolute slaughter. All right. It looks like the bleeding has stopped. Infi sitting at 53 over 66 supply, and we are looking at 47 over 60 going up against 45 over 51 and 60 over 60 by Kaho. It is 4 bases to 3, so a definite difference there, as this one Arcane Tower is not going to be enough to handle the Tauren Chieftain, Demon Hunter, Naga Sea Witch, and these armies here. Raiders, well, with plenty of pillage here. There's some Fork Lightning. Raiders are just, well, racking up damage, able to take down this Town Hall quickly, even without any upgrades. This Town Hall is falling as the peasants are just ensnared, unable to repair, and now it is now back to 3-3. Farsi are going to go ahead and use a Scroll of Speed to try and get away. How many units will be able to head back here? That is the question. Are we going to see us ensnare? Yeah, ensnare onto the Mountain King. Make sure there is no trailing Stormbolt as we are looking at the units trying to perhaps retreat back again. There's a couple more ensnares here as well as we are getting into an engagement now. All right, a Raider down to 94 hit points. It did have a healing salve, just trying to stop that there, as we see a Stormbolt go down, and now the Farseer could be in some serious trouble as he is surrounded. All right, Entangle onto the Farseer. Farseer going to quickly get taken down as I believe the Archmage was in a bit of trouble. Staff of Teleportation, Shockwave, Ensnare. Archmage now down to 45 hit points, 48. Is he going to use a Scroll of Town Portal? No, he does not. He had a Scroll of Town Portal, does not choose to use it. Meanwhile, both sides are just making perhaps some needless mistakes here, as we could be looking at another Entangle, yes, onto the Tauren Chieftain. Mountain King doesn't have enough mana. Demon Hunter trying to come back around here. Archmage resurrected at the tavern, and here we are. Shockwave ripping on through as the Naga Sea Witch gets up to level 3. Mana Burn onto the Mountain King, keeping him in check. Keeper of the Grove trying to get some more ensnares off of the Keeper of the Grove. Could get to level 5 quickly as well. All right, Staff of Preservation saves the Demon Hunter. Shockwave pushing back the other way, and this 2v2 game is simply off the hook as both sides are punishing the other team for those small mistakes. This is one of those situations where one small mistake trying to min-max doesn't seem to be working out well, as you chase a little bit only to then suffer some catastrophic losses back on the other end. Priestess of the Moon, well, shouldn't be shadow melding if actually wants to apply that true shot aura to all of these ranged units. Coming back around, Demon Hunter with an army of Dryads here. We don't see any mortar teams, only mass riflemen right now, as we are going into as we are running off of dual barracks. Coming back off to the north, still no war mill, meaning no reinforced defenses, meaning these orc burrows could get picked apart very quickly with 1-0 upgraded plus true shot aura and slight endurance aura bonus. Archmage gets up to level 4 here. Keeper of the Grove very close to level 5. could get to level 5 off of this, off of the death of that raider right there, or even just an orc burrow, or orc burrow translation, or a peon would be enough right there. As we're looking at level 5 on that Keeper of the Grove, are we going to perhaps be looking at more here? All right, trying to fight back around the other way. Stormbolt onto the Demon Hunter. No Stormbolt onto the Demon Hunter. Book of the Dead now used to try and surround that Archmage, as bears are now trying to engage here. Level 3 Nagasi, which has fallen, as the Keeper of the Grove and the Priestess of the Moon are fighting together off here. Riflemen trying to fight their way through. We see a couple of entangles shutting down the raiders from getting into their proper position here, as we're looking at more raiders just trying to retreat back into the far corner. Level 2 on that Priestess of the Moon here. Low hit point Dryad going to get finished off, as the Mountain King sits at level 3 still. That raider hiding off to the side here. Another Rifleman falling, and both sides are just taking heavy casualties as another bear gets taken down. Archmage now nearly at level 5 already, and that's going to slow down the water elemental abolishes, as the Mountain King couldn't make its way over, try to finish off that unit. No, does not get that there, as the units are now retreating back. Keeper of the Grove does have a Scroll of Town Portal. This raider was down to 1 hit point, ends up surviving still, as an expo is now currently being built by Fly. If you can delay this expo, it will cost more gold to try and build it back up. This one Huntress going to end up getting taken down. Are we going to actually see enough damage? That is the question. We may not see that there. Mana burn onto the Priestess of the Moon, as enough damage does force a cancellation, and now a Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat back out. All right, Priestess of the Moon does dance away here. Meanwhile, did that raider rejoin in on the fight? Not quite sure where it went. Perhaps, yeah, that was the raider there. As we're looking on the bottom left now, level 5 on the Archmage, level 4 on that Mountain King, who picks up a Mana Stone. Should have plenty of mana for plenty of Storm Bolts now, with even better mana regeneration. Making sure Archmage does have level 2 Brilliance Aura. And after all this time, the Farseer is only level 3, and the Tauren Chieftains just shy of level 4. Hero levels are going to make a big difference overall here, as the Tauren Chieftain, well, opts to get to level 4 quickly. Demon Hunter is just shy of level 6, but getting very close. Could easily get into Metamorphosis for that ranged chaos damage. Alright, Druids of the Claw, Dryads clearing out this relatively difficult creep camp, but at this stage in the game, it just looks like ripe experience and ripe experience and some beautiful items. Bottom left-hand side expansion now getting cleared up as well. We are currently running on 4 bases compared to 3 bases still, and somehow Fly and Kaho are still in this game, even though they're behind economically for quite some time. Infi about to lose another priest there, just losing units in transit. Not a good feeling at all, as 2-1 upgrades on those riflemen and 1-1 upgrades on those dryads. All right. Sun Tzu's Art of War, attack your opponent where he is not, and that's exactly what we see right now. Scroll of Town Portal, however, well, never part of Sun Tzu's equation, as we see a quick Scroll of Town Portal bringing back this army here to try and defend. Archmage now trying to lead the charge here. Meanwhile, we are going to see the Druids of the Claw and Dryads now in position, ready to engage. There's a roar, and well, that is going to be some big damage here, possibly. No Moonwell upgrade. Ancient of War in that front spot. Mana burn onto the Keeper of the Grove. Orb of Venom can rack up some damage here, as we see a quick Abolish Magic Scroll of Town Portal coming back the other side to try and get a defend here. And here we go. Are we going to see some repairs? That actually might the Scroll of Town Portal actually limiting the surface area on those for those wisps to try and repair, unable to repair, as all of the riflemen took up that precious real estate. All right, coming back through, another Druid of the Claw going to get taken out. Entangle has really turned into, pick off that last unit here, as Raiders are now making their way over to try and take down this Town Hall again. Scroll of Town Portal coming back the other way, using Scroll of Town Portal to constantly get into position. We're looking at some entangles. Is this going to be a good trade? It looks like it might be. 2 Raiders for a Scroll of Town Portal. That bonus experience as well going to translate very effectively. Coming back through, Stormbolt onto the Demon Hunter. Meanwhile, Mountain King wants to get away, gets a mana burn for all of his efforts. Not going to be able to follow up with another mana burn just quite yet. More Scroll of the Beast, or more Roars coming back across as the Demon Hunter may try and mana burn that Archmage as well. Mountain King getting in a couple of lucky bashes. Raiders coming in from the side, and there's that pincer play. 2 Riflemen taken down by that Fork Lightning as, well, they're charging up the ramp here. All right. Meanwhile, Dryads, Bear is going to try and go after the stronghold on the north side. Meanwhile, the Tree of Eternity on the south side is now going to be in a little bit of trouble. Some protection is going to be needed. There's a shockwave ripping through a couple of those wisps there as the Archmage tries and create a little bit of a zoning effect. Yes, Blizzard plus Bash and Stormbolt, very effective as the Scroll of Town Portal brings in the Night Elf army. 64 over 70 supply as there are still bears here. And the army has actually got a little bit split up. There's level 3 now on that Priestess of the Moon. Are we going to see another Stormbolt? We should be trying to finish off a unit here. Where is it? There's the Stormbolt there. We're going to see a Mana Burn Staff of Preservation as the units are coming back around the other side. All right, Druids of the Claw trying to retreat back through here. We're looking at Raiders, hit and run tactics, trying to, well, put pressure on the expansion of Infi, and while the Night Elf is trying to put pressure on the rebuilding expansion of Colorful. Army is not quite sure where to go. There's a Scroll of Town Portal, not going to be in time as the units are able to retreat back. Demon Hunter gets up to level 6. Are we going to see the death of a Druid of the Claw? No, we are not. He's able to retreat back as well. Tree of Eternity getting in a bit of repairs. There is only 15 seconds left of mining this Tree of Life, ready to entangle that gold mine here. Meanwhile, the main gold mines are nearly done. With those main gold mines nearly done, we'll see what happens to those Trees of Eternity, which corners of the map they'll be traveling to, as a couple of slows are now being placed down as well. Mountain King leading the charge, or trying to charge up here. Boots of Speed on that Mountain King could land a big Stormbolt here as the Raiders are coming back across. All right, there's some big Blizzard there. There's a Stormbolt finishing off a Raider, ensuring a quick kill. Chain Lightning bouncing around. All right, Tauren Chieftain going to line up a Shockwave perhaps. Are we going to see enough mana? No, we are not. Scroll of Town Portal, Scroll of Healing being used right there to try and save up all of those peasants, and that was definitely worth it as all of these peasants able to stay alive. Infi, smart with the quick change on that Arcane Tower, making sure that Shockwave didn't line up to finish off all of these peasants, as this expo is incredibly important as one of the main economic centers now that the main bases have started to mine out. All right, mana burn onto the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove trying to retreat back away. Both sides fighting their way through. We see a couple of rejuvenations coming back across here as the Naga Sea Witch could, well, reach into some problems. There it is, trying to retreat all the way to the very far back. In comes the other side here. One Druid of the Claw quickly going to get taken down. Another Druid of the Claw getting left behind. No way home. And that now taken out as well. All right, this battle just seemingly going back and forth, no end in sight. 7 minutes of mining left. Infi now trying to take down this base here. I believe pillage is researched. It would appear that way based upon on the amount of gold being gold getting harvested here or gathered as Infi loses this expo. Meanwhile, 2-on-1 fight off on the other side here. Mountain King doesn't have enough mana for a Stormbolt. Should consider its options as the Archmage now comes over to try and, well, Blizzard down these buildings. All right, Blizzard, it does rack up quite a bit of damage against these Moonwells here. We're going to see some Wisp now try to make their way back across. Riflemen do have some inner fire. Here we are into an engagement. Priestess of the Moon with +9 damage. Doesn't have an Orb of Venom, though, oddly enough, as we're going to be looking at the Dryads now trying to, well, poke things back and across. All right, main base, Tauren Chieftain, alongside those Raiders, really pillaging down these castle and all of these buildings. Who needs to mine gold when you have pillage and a bunch of Raiders? That seems to be how Fly is getting all of his gold now, as another expo gets taken down. Currently, Colorful is trying to entangle one more gold mine on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Towers are being placed up, but is there enough here? The Raiders pillaging constantly all of this gold. It is adding up extremely quickly. And this could turn into a base race scenario. Demon Hunter, all right, has a bit of high damage. He's going to try and engage here. Blizzard now coming back across to, well, bury down all of these buildings here. The Infi should really stop blizzarding his own friendly units here, as the Keeper of the Grove getting very close to level 6. Mountain King also getting very close to level 5 as well. I don't believe there's enough trees of ancients here to give that there, as we see a Scroll of Town Portal coming back the other side. All right, Tauren Chieftain. All right, we're going to see some damage, repairs trying to get underway. Chain Lightning going across as the, Tree of Eternity quickly gets taken down. Scroll of Town Portal is going to retreat back out. Tauren Chieftain is going to make it out in time, teleporting back home. Taking out the stronghold would have removed a Scroll of Town Portal location, and that would have stopped things as well. Meanwhile, a Great Hall is being built here at that 9 o'clock location by Fly, taking over the Expo of Infi. Metamorphosis now trying to take down this last Tree of Eternity. Tree of Eternity suffering quite a bit of damage. Scroll of Town Portal will get away. Naga Sea Witch going to take away all of these Druids of the Claw as well. Only one bear gets taken out here. All right, that was not as critical of a building as before. Meanwhile, there is now one mining base by Colorful off on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Archmage could try and, come back across here. Mountain King needs to regroup with that Archmage in order to pick off a unit. There needs to be either Entangle or Stormbolt on the human Night Elf side. Meanwhile, Kaho and Fly have access to plenty of ensnares to get the job done. All right, Archmage. Mass teleport could change things as well. Mountain King looking to clear up some more creep camps, picks up a Gloves of Haste and Tome of Intelligence, up to 330 maximum mana, just trying to clear out as much as possible. As this 4-3-2 creep camp gets quickly cleared up as well. Another Gloves of Haste as the Archmage picks that up. Fountain of Health only has one Null Poacher left, not really a red creep camp at all, as both sides are fighting their way through. We see a couple of Owl Scouts being placed all around the map as well, as this Great Hall could just end up getting taken down quite easily. All right, Great Hall not going to be able to translate into very much of anything. Meanwhile, these Owl Scouts still keeping track of this Night Elf army. We've come to the point in the game where both sides, just don't want to make a tragic mistake or misstep. So engagements are actually going to be a little bit more reserved as opposed to what we've been seeing throughout this match. All right, couple of Orc Burrows. Treants are going to spot all of this. And the Dryads, spotting these Treants, these Orc Burrows actually give experience. So this actually could come as a bit of a shock, as it could give the Priestess of the Moon a little bit of a bump to get up to that next level. Keeper of the Grove already sitting at level 6, and that's going to be useful out of combat too. All right, coming back around. All right, the Burrows slowly taking some damage here. Dryads trying to push their way through. Are we perhaps going to see some Raiders try and engage once more? No Entangle from that Keeper of the Grove, who is just a little bit too far behind, as we see an Ensnare go down as well. All right, Fly going to end up losing this Great Hall here. There is still Scroll of Town Portal available for Infi. These buildings should easily be taken down, as no real way to Scroll of Town Portal and save this main base, removing those Moonwells, which do provide quite a bit of hit points and mana. Tree of Life trying to be rebuilt here. There is a couple of guard towers here. Colorful still able to mine quite a bit, but currently upside down, unable to train up any extra units. Tauren Chieftain going to be shy of level 5 after all this time, I believe. Yes, just a little bit shy, 10 experience shy, will not have access to level 3 Shockwave. Archmage trying to make his way into the corner here. This Tree of Life will end up just getting, cancelled. Meanwhile, this Tree of Life here is going to get destroyed before it's able to even pay for itself at all. Raiders finding a new target here, trying to finish off this building. There's a Chain Lightning Shockwave, giving level 5 to that Tauren Chieftain. Stormbolt onto the Farseer. However, the Farseer, onto a Raider. Raider going to end up not get taken down, but the main building is lost once more. Removing Fly's stronghold at this point would just remove the Scroll of Town Portal escape, and that might be strategic enough, even though there is no gold mine here. It is plenty reason to try and take it out, to remove the hit and run tactics from from Fly and Kaho. Meanwhile, Colorful and Infi are the only ones mining any gold right now, slowly but surely mining as the, well, Farseer are going to find a whole bunch of riflemen and priest here. Easy pickings. That is 11 supplies suddenly gone, translated into the experience bar for the Farseer and this Tauren chieftain. All right, there goes a Dryad, Stormbolt onto a Druid of the Claw. Mountain King could try and continue chasing here. There's a Staff of Teleportation inbound for that Archmage. Archmage now 8 experience shy of level 6, and that could open, or that will open up Mass Teleport. Going after an Orc Burrow here makes sense now, as you really want to gain access to Mass Teleport. Mass Teleport is absolutely huge if you're able to move around, and now going after all of these buildings in the back as well. A couple of easy peons. Are we going to see some Stormbolt? Yes, Stormbolt level 6 now on the Archmage, and now with Mass Teleport, what is going to end up changing here? Mass Teleport going to go ahead and head off to the bottom left-hand side of the map. Farseer quickly tries to get away. Shockwave. A couple of Raiders are going to be within range, but more importantly, the Tree of Life ends up sticking around. What the heck? Wow. I'm sorry. Did not even notice that that moved. How long was that there? All right. Sorry. Coming back around, the remainder of these buildings are going to get cleaned up here. Mass Teleport, is it enough to move around the map and constantly get into position? Archmage should perhaps consider giving a Scroll of Town Portal to his partner here, as hit and run tactics are still key. Bottom left-hand side, perhaps some repairs on this Tree of Life will be needed. Ancient of Wars trying to get in a position. Yeah, being able to upgrade this scout tower to a guard tower would also be useful. Meanwhile, Mountain King is going to be able to get off a Stormbolt on anything. Yes, Stormbolt onto a Raider. Raider going to end up getting taken down pretty easily, as the Mountain King still trying to keep up with that Tauren Chieftain or some of these other units. There's a Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain, but that can just be, that damage is just superficial and can be shaken off. All right, Demon Hunter does not have an Orb of Venom. No easy way to take down these red drakes here. Easy access to those positions. Naga Sea Witch perhaps trying to retreat back. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter going after these granite golems here. Red Drakes, well, absorbing a little bit of damage as well. Naga Sea Witch trying to fight back here. We're going to see the Demon Hunter actually metamorphoses purposely to go after the Red Drakes and free up, as well as the Naga Sea Witch may get up to level 5 here. Level 5 on that Naga Sea Witch would access level 3. Oh, no, not enough. 6 experience shy. Level 3 Fork Lightning would have been, well, a game changer as well. In comes some Blizzard to try and finish off those red drakes here. Granite Golem going to get easily taken down. Amulet of the Wild going to get picked up. Tome of Intelligence right there. That's going to summon a Furbolg Warrior. But are the Dryads just going to... are there enough Dryads out on the field to just abolish it? That is the question. I do not believe that is the case. Fly did expand over here at the 3 o'clock spot, but only 1,400 gold left. Meanwhile, Mountain King going to finish off these Orc Burrows, gain a little bit of experience as well, but still going to be shy of level 6. Goblin Zeppelin keeping, well, perhaps going to try and drop in this position here. There's another Owl Scout right there. Keeper of the Grove in position, and this could turn into a nightmare as the Goblin Zeppelin is in position, but so is the Keeper of the Grove, ready to launch some attacks. That is not going to be enough to try and land in a drop at all. Meanwhile, well, Kaho now making his way back off to the north to perhaps get in a little bit of defense as well. Plenty of Orc Burrows, able to train up more Raiders, but there's just not going to be enough now as the Mountain King perhaps goes off into the corner trying to finish off some of these peons. All right, well, Blizzard is going to find a couple of those peons as well. Riflemen able to shoot their way through, taking down peon after peon, taking them down. Mountain King, well, still shy of level 6. Coming back across the other side, Demon Hunter finds this potential expansion on the top left, and it gets shut down. Meanwhile, Fly, well, a Furbolg Ursa Warrior as a summoned unit going after this Great Hall should be able to take it down. Does have Command Aura on the top of some spells as well. I believe it has a Stomp, as this Great Hall will end up getting cleaned up too. All right, new expansion by color or Kaho on the top right hand side of the map, not fully saturated. 39/30 needs to bring over a couple of wisps in order to begin mining, but doesn't have enough gold to train up an additional Moonwell. So this wisp may actually have to walk all the way over or float all the way over to entangle this gold mine for something to even begin to happen. Coming back across here, things are starting to look better and better for Colorful and Infi, I would say. 36 supply army and 58 supply army as the Druids of the Claw, Demon Hunter, Nagasiwich now trying to take down this Altar of Kings. All right, who's going to come out on top? Well, one Raider going to get taken down, entangle onto another Raider. That is going to get taken out as well. Mass teleport to try and teleport, well, away, and now going after another Raider again. So some quick, easy kills across the board. Meanwhile, well, Kaho is trying to take down some precious buildings, but they're not really even worth saving at this stage, as we're going to look at the Keeper of the Grove, Scroll of Town portaling back to this stronghold. All right, Archmage, Mountain King now making their way to the top right-hand side. Kaho has a base, but doesn't have any mining going on here. The Ursa Warrior, is he going to just try to come inside here? Is he going to stomp or do anything? Just trying to go after all these units here. Nope, there's a stomp. Really light damage, but, well, any way that you're able to stop your opponent from mining is a good thing. Scroll of Town portal inbound. This could potentially be bad news. Where are they going to go ahead and teleport away to? Here we are. Stormbolt, the parting gift for the Demon Hunter, as they teleport now to this expo instead. Mass teleport has a relatively fast cooldown here, and a Scroll of Town portal was used by the Night Elf in order to get into this position to even defend this expo, even though there is no mining going on here at all. 134 Treants are now cleaning up some more of these buildings, and, well, it is a slow momentum building now for Colorful and Infi, as, well, Raiders are just slowly getting picked off again and again. Blizzard now raining down, going to finish off a couple of these strongholds as well. Archmage could Blizzard it down. All this, no, going to go ahead and mass teleport away. Where is it going to teleport off to? Regroup up with the army and, well, get ready to go. Rifleman with Inner Fire, Command Aura, True Shot, Roar, with plus 15 damage. That is some major damage indeed. Staff of Preservation for the save there, as both sides fighting their way through. Blizzard finding their targets. No ensnares onto that Archmage, as the Archmage is still, well, laying down the Blizzard here. Level 6 now on the Mountain King. Mountain King goes into the Avatar mode and is now continuing to fight after all of these units. Able to pick off more. Nagasi, which is at level 5, as we see Tranquility now being used by Colorful in that final fight. However, a quick ensnare that Tranquility there. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain is about to get taken down, giving level 5 to the Priestess of the Moon, level 3 True Shot Aura. So I think that is going to be it right there. Plus 18 damage on those Riflemen. Level 3 True Shot Aura, Roar, Inner Fire, and the Jangle of Endurance. That was a long, drawn-out battle by both sides. Let's take a look at the final scores here. Yeah, Infi and Colorful eventually inching over with that hero command. And the higher level heroes making a drastic difference. You saw them in that final fight there. So many ultimate abilities. Mass Teleport making a big play by just simply being everywhere at once. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.